So, Shayla,
Yes.
life begins after school.
I guess that's where we bend all the rules.
Good answer. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 1224 podcast, where we're here to talk about everything animation. Today's episode, we are going to talk about two shows for the first time.
They're 16 and Stoked. Also, I'm Shay. Those are shows.
From Canada.
Yes. I wouldn't say my favorite country.
If you don't know what the shows are, they recently aired, not recently, obviously, but have aired previously on Cartoon Network and has become one of my childhood shows.
Yeah, so we have both seen 16 and Stoked, either when we were younger and then we recently rewatched it separately because we're still in quarantine.
And we can't socialize what
Yeah.
it means. and we're also far apart since we live in different states.
Yes, as we do. This isn't gonna be like our previous episodes, if you could already tell from the intro.
It's okay, these are our first shows that we're going to talk about and discuss and analyze, but not too much. And just briefly talk about what this show is all about and what it means to us. 16 and Stoked are made by the same company of Teletoon and Fresh TV.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Like, they're made by the same company because visually they're the most similar out of, like, those three shows that were made by those two companies. But you're gonna see that despite all the similarities of the show, there is one big difference. And that is that Stoked is just Family Guy 16.
Oh my god.
I'll get to that.
How dare you? Actually, you're not wrong.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like...
Yeah, we'll talk about it more.
Do I wonder... Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it more later, because...
Exactly.
Oh god.
This is gonna be a mess.
Yeah, this is already a mess. Like...
You're fine! It's okay! Don't worry about it. We'll get through it. So, maybe we should first talk about 16, since that show came out first in around the 2000s?
Yeah, so 16, like, if you couldn't tell by the amount of flip phones in the show, it takes place in, like, the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah.
It's about 16s who are 16, and it's just about, like, their adventures in a mall, them getting jobs, having crushes and boyfriends and girlfriends, peeping in the lingerie store.
Oh no.
Changing
That's
rooms.
just Jonesy.
That's a part of it. Yeah, that's just Jonesy.
No one else does that.
No, like, Jude and Wyatt did also attempt to do it in the same episode, because Jonesy was like, yo, y'all gotta see this.
Yeah, but Jonesy was definitely the man just behind all of that, because he's a simp. For all women.
He's not a simp. That's not what the definition of a simp is.
But he's a simp for all women.
But that's not a simp.
And what do you call it?
A creep.
Damn. Well,
I'm so sorry.
You're not wrong, actually. I was definitely watching that scene where Jonesy was looking through that peephole, and I was like, sir, back away. Get out of the dressing room.
Yeah, I guess also for reference, growing up, we didn't have all the episodes show in America, because we're about to get into some 16 history.
16 history.
Yeah, because for some reason I know about, like, I know about, like, some of the weird background stuff about, like, the airing of 16 in America.
Right.
So, technically, with my experience with 16, it didn't air on oh my god. So, for the general public, it aired on Nickelodeon first, but then Nickelodeon quickly, like, got rid of it.
Oh, really?
And then, yeah, like, we were too young to really remember that one.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but I kind of remember it because I don't know, it was like another network owned by Viacom, and like I had it on demand, and so they had shows like 16 Little Vampire. I don't remember what like the exact like network was called, but I do know that Viacom had rights to it for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cartoon Network got like a deal with like some Canadian companies and well, Fresh TV and everything, and basically they got the rights to air 16. But the thing is, the Cartoon Network 16, there are still a lot of episodes missing, due to America's censorship laws, because we are what? A homophobic country. Let's
We
go.
love that.
Um, yeah, and also just like different rating systems. It's not even just like those aspects of the show. Um, as we mentioned previously, like there's jokes where like characters are going to like Victoria's Secret esque show like stores and like looking through peepholes in the changing room, and like just like a lot of shows that wouldn't be considered kid friendly in America because 16 is actually like a teen targeted show.
Oh, for sure.
And so yeah, and so with that came like it's hard to find like a lot of episodes in America. So when we access episodes, there's a channel on YouTube called Retro Rerun, and they have a bunch of stuff on there. Like if you like stuff like Clone High, which we will talk about in a later episode, um, like Clone High, all of 16. I think right now they're also airing like the show Sticking Around, like just anything that's like early 2000s, 90s ish. That's the channel for you. It's really cool. Um, I really like the channel. I'm subscribed to them. I highly suggest them if you ever want to watch 16
Yeah, definitely.
or Clone High. Watch both. Both are Canadian shows for teenagers.
Agreed. I'm definitely gonna watch Clone High. I haven't seen it. Um,
Oh my
yeah.
god, it's so good.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
as I said before, 16 is about 16s. Their names, I know all their names because I love the show. Nikki, Jonesy, Wyatt, Jude, Jen,
Did we? Did we?
Caitlin, Caitlin.
No, stop. Was that? Is that my cue to introduce Caitlin?
You can if you want to. I just actually forgot her name, not gonna
And
lie.
Caitlin. I was literally like, did you forget someone? I feel like you did, but no, it was just Caitlin that we missed.
Yeah, so the other thing about 16 is like each character kind of falls into like a certain archetype in like traditional high
Yeah.
school, like Western high school tropes.
Right.
So you have like the pretty popular girl who's rich and also dumb. That's Caitlyn. And
Not
then
me.
you have like
The opposite.
the more like goth punk girl who's like very radical, and that's like Nikki.
Yes.
Um then Jen is like the girl next door.
Sporty,
Um
basic,
yeah,
sometimes.
Jen isn't that basic.
Yeah, she
I'm
dresses
about to
like
get into
one.
why
Not
Jen.
gonna lie.
Yeah, no, she dresses basic, but they all dress basic.
True.
That's the thing. Um, then like Wyatt's the black character.
J- just
Um,
the black character. No.
yeah, no, he has more characters. I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
He's very
He's
humble.
like, yeah, like I would say humble. He's like really chill.
Yeah.
Like he's the chill guy, but he's also very anxious.
Right.
Like that, like he drinks a lot of coffee. It's
Yeah, he has a
ridiculous.
coffee
Um,
addiction.
yeah, Jude's a stoner,
Yes.
best boy, and then Jonesy. Jonesy.
There's a lot. There's a
Jonesy.
lot about Jonesy.
That man, he's like the player type, but he's also a loser. Like, I critique him a lot, but honestly, he might be the funniest character. I know that's that's depending on the person. But I like awful people. I established that last episode. That I like horrible people. But I have a limit to it though. Um, but honestly, Jonesy can be pretty funny. Like he's like the jokester,
Yeah,
playboy,
he may be funny,
loser.
but he's
That's
also
him.
funny
That's him.
looking. I mean, he looks okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like the best way to describe the 16 characters, if you
Yes.
ever watch Big Hero 6, right? It's literally the Big Hero 6 characters,
Yeah, basically.
except you
But you
add like
add
a creep.
like more PG-13
Yeah,
into it, and you have Jonesy.
yeah. Like it. Yeah, like 16. Like it's interesting about 16 because you would definitely say it's a product of its time, but at the same time it was very progressive. Um, in terms of a lot of things, like this is the most casual I'm ever going to be on this podcast. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm going to be more casual in later episodes. Um, but with 16, a lot of humor kind of like comes from like how the mall is and how these characters are kind of like very amped up stereotypes in a way. At the same time, like they have a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
character besides
totally.
those
I mean,
stereotypes that
I
they find
find
very fun.
like despite
Um,
like their archetypes or tropes, I feel like they have their own character and it's not like so like two-dimensional. They have like a lot of dimension to their characters.
yeah, like it's very in like 16 is definitely an episode where if you watch the first episode and like the last few episodes, you definitely see like growth within like most, and if not all, the characters in some way. Especially with like Nikki and Caitlin. I think off the top of my head, um, just because those two are the most polar opposites, and like eventually they're like pretty good friends. Like Caitlin, she's like, "Oh man, I have to get a job because my dad like cut off my credit card. It's
Cuz
declined.
I'm
My friend
broke.
left me because I'm poor
Yeah.
now. I have to work at this lemon.
I
I
have a lemon
have to
on
work
my
in this
head.
lemon. Excuse me?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dynamics
no,
between
like
like friendships is what I really
I
like. Like just seeing like opposites of like different personalities just trying to get along and soon having that development along the way and during like every season.
yeah, like I think the other thing about 16 too, even if you don't have like that whole mall hang out with friends
Ooh.
experience, like I
No, but that's
didn't,
okay.
um,
not saying that like it's
you,
not the best experience
yeah, no, it's okay. Like,
you need to have as like a teenager.
yeah, but you know someone like each of the characters, like in some way, which
Right.
I think also adds to the appeal of the show. Like, I definitely
Right.
know people like Wyatt, specifically. Yeah, I think the other appeal about 16, besides like, it's kind of, I
Right.
wouldn't say crude humor, and like, the characters, I think a good appeal of it is the art style. We
Yes.
briefly touched upon it, but I think that 16 especially, because
Yeah.
Stoked has a very similar art style, but I don't know how I feel about the Stokes art
Right.
style in comparison to 16's. Because the way 16 does, so it's a lineless art style, lots of gradients. It's very like, when you look at the show, you're like, my scene, remember those dolls called like the My Scene dolls, like made by Mattel? And they also had like that lineless style, and it was very like, it was supposed to be like hip,
I
but it was
have
like
no
early
idea what you're
2000s
talking
hip.
about.
That's 16.
Did I have a
Oh my
cultured
god.
childhood? Maybe not.
Like I don't know.
I
Like
f-
I don't know how niche my scene dolls are. Because I didn't own the
huh.
dolls, but I played
I
on
played a
like their
lot of Club
website a
Penguin when
lot
I was
as
a
a
kid.
kid. Yeah.
I know. I I'm a
Yeah,
Club Penguin
we know.
bias,
We
but it's
know.
cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, the visuals are very like something that you don't really see in a lot of animation, and it going back to Total Drama because I love Total Drama. um,
Oh my
I
god.
know. I'm sorry.
You
I
said
have
the same
nothing
for
else to
the other
compare.
episode.
um, but also connecting to Stoked too. I feel like I feel like they all three of those
Oh
shows
boy.
as the Holy Trinity, you know. Um they all have the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah,
Stoked
I
isn't
was I was like,
holy. Stoked is
I don't know if I should add
cursed.
Stoked as a Holy Trinity, but I needed like a third show to like fulfill the Holy Trinity. Yeah. Um
Yeah, no, that's valid.
but they all have this like similar style, but I feel like Stoked and 16 are much more similar in terms of the visuals and the lineless art. And like what I like
Hmm.
about 16 is that it's goofy but like sort of real, you know? Like um I mean, I wasn't that social as a
Yeah.
teenager, but like man, watching these episodes made me very like nostalgic and reminiscing like on the times that I've spent like with my friends, and it doesn't have to be in the mall, you know, but like I remember like these moments where I would like, you know, just do goofy shenanigans like at school or at the mall at my like uh local mall or whatever. Um but like these teens, these 16s, it, pun intended, um, have a lot of in common, and they like these are teens that you don't really like see hanging out together, but like they all collectively come together in this special place called the mall, and I find that really special, and just the interactions between each characters and with characters uh make this show very unique, which I really like.
It's literally just Mall Breakfast Club,
True.
but like not really.
I guess it's like the Breakfast Club as if it was a cartoon, but not really.
Yeah, because like thing with 16, again, back to the like pilot episode, because I think when you're watching 16, I know like you don't really have to watch
Yeah.
the episodes in order to understand what's happening every episode, but the pilot episode's definitely one you have to watch in order to understand like each, not like each character, but especially like with certain things. Like, Caitlin, for example, I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. I'm so sorry for repeating myself. So like, you understand that like, Jen, Wyatt, Jude, Jonesy, and Nikki are all friends,
Right.
but Caitlin isn't part of that group. She's the outcast. And it's more like her fish out of water story versus the others. Um, and that's like, I find that interesting because usually it's like the reverse. And like, I wouldn't say in like, oh, and like a lot of cartoons at the time, because like usually when I think of like stuff like this, it's always like, I'm the fish out of water. I have brown hair and brown eyes. What I'm saying is like, usually with like a lot of shows at the time, you have like characters where they're like the main, not the main character, but like usually those who fall into the more like non-rich, pretty, like stereotype are usually the ones that are the fish out of water. But in 16, it's the opposite because Caitlin's the fish out of water because like she's has such a
Shopping.
shallow meaning of life at first. Yeah, I'm saying 16
Ooh,
is
I
really
never really
Caitlin's
thought about
story.
that. Oh my gosh. Like I could totally see that. And like I
Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of like Caitlyn centered episodes, but I feel as if like she kind of goes through this transformation in terms of her like personality and development throughout the show. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You want to know what
What?
else is cool about the show? LGBT representation, baby.
Period, baby. You already know.
Um, so within the show, since like the way they put like the targeting demographic, they're going for teenagers, and also since Canada has different censorship laws and also rating
Yeah.
systems, 16 was able to have like not like there's one episode where they kind of go in depth with it, but not really. Where they can showcase mainly like um oh my god, I'm so tired.
It's okay.
Mainly like gay characters. Um, so like there's an episode where Nikki has like a friend and like her friend's a lesbian, and then there's like another episode. It's like a joke though.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like usually when they do it, it's like a like there's like some kind of joke around it, but it's never like
Like
hurtful
offensive.
whenever they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the closest ones are when like it's like if like the boys are scamming someone, but even then the way they like handle it, it's not hurtful.
Right.
You know, the joke's not like, oh haha, they're pretending to be a couple. It's more like these kids are so stupid that they're trying to pull off a heist like
Right.
this.
They're just dumb teenagers.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there was one episode where like Caitlin was like flirting with a guy and like this old lady comes up to her and she's like, that man's batting for the other team. Like, just
Oh my
stop.
god.
Something like that. Like, I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on some of these jokes.
Yeah.
I didn't watch every
I
episode.
haven't watched every episode either. It's been a while, but like I was watching like a few like episodes recently. But I definitely remember the one with Nikki's friend, and that's what caused such like a wave of like, people going back to watching 16. And yeah, I was about to ask you about like the ratings and stuff if they were different from like the US. So yeah, you answered that question obviously. But is there more to that, or like
So
mhm.
with Canadian ratings, I'm not so sure about the TV ones, but I know the movie ones for the most part.
Let us know.
So with movie ones, and if you're Canadian, please let us know.
Yeah.
Um, but from what I understand, so you know how like
Right.
stuff is PG here, so like stuff like Disney movies are usually PG, like the ones that you can
Mhm.
watch with kids. Um, I think those are G in
Right.
Canada. I think it's always like a like
Yeah.
one rating lower in Canada than it is in America, and then after a while it starts changing, gets more complicated. Because ratings are very complicated, like why you would us as Americans, like as children, we couldn't get like those particular episodes or jokes. Like a lot of jokes were also cut out of 16, and not even just 16. I don't know if any were cut out of Stoked because I didn't really watch any episodes where they had like
Right.
that zesty 16 humor.
A
But definitely
lot.
total drama. A lot of stuff was cut
Definitely a
out
lot.
or
I mean,
changed more
I
so.
I think I remember just a lot of like scenes of like total drama and or 16 where scenes were like censored, or they had to use like a word that's like less harsh than like for example stupid or something. I don't know. I mean, I feel like what
Yes, something.
got me into a lot of like cartoons is the fact that like these
Yeah.
shows had um really clever and maybe sometimes mature jokes that like they put effort and work into, and 16 is definitely like a good example of that. Like it's not like, sure, like they have their goofs and their gaffs, but like
Hmm.
it's more than that, and it's not like super wacky, but it's also just like relatable and just really like clever about like their characters and their stories that
Yeah.
they put into just about like these 16s in a mall. Like it's more than that.
Yeah, honestly, like the wackiest things from 16.
Oh
Like
yeah. Oh my god.
the wackiest episode
It was
16
just
is honestly
Jude's
like
dream.
the zombie
Like
one. Everyone can
this
agree about
man
that.
like probably
But
did
that's
not get a
all a
lot of sleep or
dream. Like,
something or was like on something. I mean,
yeah.
oh true, yeah.
No, he watched a bunch of
Right.
zombie movies and then he went to sleep. But like the way the episode sets it up, like you see him at home, which is really rare in 16.
Yeah.
You never
Like
go outside the
literally,
mall except for like
right,
a few
exactly. And
times.
like I
I
think
think
the
like
only
five
time they showed
times.
like their places, like their homes and their rooms is like literally like the last two episodes slash the finale because I watched it recently.
Or like,
Oh, true.
yeah, or like in flashbacks too, because there was like one episode, um, when she was like talking about how it was like the prom episode or dance episode, and she was talking about how like, she was sick of like Jonesy's brother. Cause,
Oh,
by the way,
right. Oh
Jonesy
my
and Jen
god.
become like step siblings.
That's so
I forget when
crazy.
in the show, but at some point they become step siblings. Yeah. And so she was like, well, can you tell your brother stop doing
Oh
this?
my
Because he's
god.
being
I need
really
to rewatch
annoying.
more
Like
episodes,
something like
man.
that. Um, yeah, no, like that's the thing with 16. You can watch any episode, but like if you really want like the lore, you have to watch like certain
Yes.
ones.
I love the lore. I love getting
Why?
to know like little things about characters, just like, like weird or maybe just little fun facts that they'll never ever talk about ever again. But
Yeah,
like I
like
just find those really enjoyable.
the funny thing about it, I like how it's all revolving around Jonesy. Like all
Cuz
like
Jonesy
the
has problems.
yeah, no, like Jonesy, like okay, I think out of all the characters development wise, Caitlyn's not like top. I think Jonesy is actually top for that. But even then,
Fair.
still apprehensible. That man, Jesus Christ.
Would you like to present like our head canon about Jonesy?
Oh, you mean the it's not canon. I call it the canon. So like in 16, like when we were to like this is so I wish you guys could see my hand movements because I'm going crazy. So in 16, right? Here's the so
Yes.
like since like a lot of stuff again, this is revolving around like America's like homophobic like censorship type things, right? So there was like one episode where I think like by accident Jude and Jonesy this is like a really long joke though, and also you have to like it's it's a joke and also Jesus Christ, it sounds bad. Also it's like if you
it it's like
this is so bad.
it's like as a joke and like not to like offend anyone.
So my headcanon, Jonesy,
I agree.
he's bi but also homophobic. The end. Um,
It's okay.
this is
We know
so
what you
bad. I'm
mean
so
though.
sorry. Um, yeah, no, like like this is such like a big internet meme. This is one of those things that you know is not gonna like test the tides of time unless if you're living during like this one meme.
Right. Like
That's the problem with that joke. Anyways,
yeah, no,
he's
I get
he's
that. You
that kind of
explained it
person.
like
That's the
more
best
than
way
I
I could
could.
describe him.
So,
Um,
thank you. Props to you.
yeah, because I have to clarify because
Nah,
I realize how
I just
bad that
I see it as a
sounds.
joke, but at the same time, I could definitely see Jonesy being that way.
Oh yeah, in 16, um, sorry, I'm like counting. Yeah, half of the characters are people of color. That's
Period.
cool. It's like bubble guppies. It's literally like
The
bubble guppies.
diversity, love.
Yeah. I rate my diversity on a scale of bubble guppies.
is is that like the highest like rank? Yes.
Yeah,
Just like bubble
I'm
guppies.
trying to think. Yes and no. Here's the thing with bubble guppies. So for those who don't know bubble guppies, it's a Nick Jr.
This has
show.
turned into a bubble guppies episode. Okay.
Yes, it is. Very quickly. Um, Bubble Guppies is a Nick Jr. show, and it's about these little like preschooler mer children. And so for the first 4 seasons, yes, I watched a lot of it. I don't care. Um,
We don't judge.
the first 4 seasons, there are 6 Guppies, right? So I know their names. So there's Molly, Gil, Nani, Una, Gobi, and Dima, right? And then Bubble Puppy, but that's a
We
dog, so
don't
we don't
count the
count it.
dog.
Um, so yeah, so Gobi, Molly, and Una are all people of
Period.
color, right? Because Gobi's
Period.
black. We don't know Molly's
Period.
race, but she's brown, and then
Period.
Una's Asian. And so for the 5th season, they introduce a new guppy, right? And you're like, okay, whatever, they're introducing a new guppy. Now the intro is gonna be kind of messed up, which it is a little. Like the timing's weird. Her name's Zuli. She's
Period.
a black girl. So ever since she got introduced, I've been joking like, dang, we really bubble guppied the situation
you can you can't get as diverse as
because
bubble guppies.
you can't like. So yeah, I don't know. Watch Bubble Guppies. It's like 16. I would say better. It's
It's
like
like 16
16.
but for kids.
Not for. It's for everyone,
True. Okay, you're right. Good
obviously.
point. Good point. Um but
But
yeah, and that's our take on 16.
yeah. Other thing with 16, I like all the side characters in the mall. I like the nerd guy who
And his
dressed up
name
as
is
Darth
Darth.
Vader. I like him.
Yeah, it
I think.
is. Like
Is
they
it?
call him
I don't
Darth.
know.
I don't know if that's his real
Oh, thank
name,
God.
but they call him that.
Yeah, like,
Um
I don't know how they got the rights to
Me
that.
neither.
The 3 girls who work
The
at
khaki
Khaki
barn.
Barn, they're pretty funny. I like the coach character a lot.
Yeah.
He's chillin'.
No
Not
chill.
really, but I feel bad for Jen. Jen's the best character at 16, by the way.
Debatable.
Um, okay, look, I think Jen deserves the most out of everyone in that show. Like, people say Nikki, they're
Damn.
wrong.
Um,
I, I like Nikki, but sometimes Nikki's like, no, I take
right,
back.
you better. No, I'm just kidding.
I do think that Jen deserves
Yeah.
the most though, because Jen always gets like the worst stuff like to happen to her, and she's always the most
True.
responsible one.
That's valid.
So I feel the most bad for
Yeah.
her whenever. Yeah, like everyone else, I'm like, there's something off about some of them sometimes, like in certain
Right.
episodes. But I
I
love all
love
those
them
kids.
too. They're so wholesome. Not really wholesome, but like you know what I mean. Together, they're wholesome. I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
really
no.
like the voice acting since like I'm familiar with like voice actors from like Canadian shows. Especially those that
Hmm.
like I know from Total Drama, going back to Total Drama again for the 100th time. Um
Oh
um
yeah. No, they
yeah.
recycle voice actors. You can,
Christian Potenza as
my
Jude.
boy.
Man, I used to be a huge fan of him. Like I watch his YouTube channel like all the time. Um let's see. Also Jen, who also voices Gwen from Total Drama, is
Hmm.
pretty cool. Yeah. And the same thing goes for other characters from 16 that I can't really um explain from the top of my head at the moment. But my final thoughts about 16, also I really like the sound design. Also probably because like I'm taking a sound class right
Hmm.
now and it's given me like more it's I've been a little more analytic about sound, but like I really appreciate the sound design in 16. Oh my god, like literally the acoustics when they like when they're at the mall versus when they're like at an ice skating rink, like you could hear like the echoes and like the sound effects that they do are really like good. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's just really nice
Well,
and crisp. and like it makes it very like real
Yeah,
and raw.
I can't really say anything about sound except that the song slapped in 16. Um, we all know that
Yes, they
the theme
do.
song because
I
every
love the
year when
theme
you turn
song.
16, if you were born in the early 2000s or I guess late 90s. I don't know, whatever.
I'm
I
16, 16.
it's
It's
a
stuck in my head
it's a
this like whole
good
time.
song. Like legitimately, it's a good song. I've been watching so much like Amanda YouTube videos. But yeah, but you want to know what else has a good theme song? Although I don't think it's as good.
What?
No, it's equally as good. Stoked.
Yeah, Stoked. Loki kind of liked the 16 theme song more, but anyway, Stoked.
Yeah, who should explain it?
Since you explained it, I could explain Stoked. Um, so Stoked follows what, six teenagers too, or
I'll count right now. Okay. So basically, there's this group of teenagers,
yeah,
because I'm
these.
not.
Okay, yeah, I'll just say a group of teenagers who end up in this surfer paradise that's also called Surfer's Paradise, I think, which is this resort that they were all looking forward to in the summer. Like it's for surfers and other like families that go there, and so these group of teenagers are really excited to work there. But once they end up at the resort, and it ends up being like a huge dump. Like it's uh it's like it's like a resort that you would go. It's like Wisconsin Dells. Like yeah, it's a fun resort, but like it kind of sucks when there's like so many kids around and it kind of stinks. And
It's like any
yeah,
resort,
pretty much. You're not
basically.
wrong. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at. And it's basically like their adventures that they have in the resort, but also like there's just a lot of drama that happens in that show.
Okay. If you ever saw 16, you know 16 can be dramatic at times.
Yeah.
Stoked.
They crank that up.
They crank that up so much to the point where I get annoyed
Nah, I feel
sometimes.
that.
Like, um, I think Stoke takes place in Nova Scotia, if or it takes place on an island, like in Canada, like actual like island in Canada. Um,
Yeah.
Thing about like Stoked, I think it's a nice looking series. I'm about to talk about art design for a
Go
second
ahead.
again. Um,
Valid.
I think Stoked and 16 could obviously tell that they're related shows, but I enjoy the 16 art style and choices a bit more because I don't know, like there's with Stoked, everyone feels more pointy. Their heads feel 10 times bigger.
Dang, roasting them.
No, like especially with like the girl
Right.
characters for me. Cause like
Yeah.
the guy character, I'm like, yeah, whatever, they look like they're from 16. Although like there's still like some differences. But like with the girl character, especially Lo,
Right.
they all, the other thing about Stoke, so the main teenagers' names, oh my god. There's Lo or Lauren. There's Reef. His real name's Leslie.
Oh my god.
There's Finn.
I didn't know that.
There's Emma, best girl.
Yeah, Emma's cool.
There's Johnny, and then Broseph.
Broseph. My man.
His name is Broseph. I think it's just a nickname, but honestly, like, if it's his real name, I wouldn't be surprised, you know?
Right.
Oh, and then there's also like what the manager, I forget his name, he has like a dumb name too.
I forgot. I forgot his
And
name.
then,
Like Andrew or something.
and then, yeah, and then like Lo's brother's name is Ty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he's like the second best character.
I haven't seen a lot of Ty. Like I didn't like watch episodes where Ty's in it, but like maybe I should. I don't know.
Um, and all Ty, he's like the least problematic character because it's not that he barely shows up, but like every time he shows up, he's just chilling.
He's vibing. No drama, just vibes.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's the best guy in all honesty. Oh god, thinking about Stokes sometimes gives me a headache.
Nah, I
Um,
get it.
so back to art design. I don't think that the art design in the show is bad. Like I think, especially with the intro, they went with like a very cinematic take with like the camera shots and like how they introduced like the hotel and stuff.
Total drama.
Like,
It reminded me of that.
yeah, like it's because it had like that long one shot
Right, exactly. Which I liked. Hee hee hee
thing.
hee.
Yeah. I think the colors in Stoke, like the color choices that they use are very pretty, very
Very
beachy.
warm.
Um, yes, they're very warm.
The color is warm.
Uh, yeah. Um, I don't know, but there's something about like the character design specifically, especially it's Emma and Lo especially. Their heads are too wide. They look like Hey Arnold to me. But yeah, I think okay. I know I said I don't like the art style as much as 16, but overall I still think it's really nice because it's still like that early 2000s mindless, like, my scene
Yeah.
esque, like, art style. Um, anyways, besides art style, let's get into characters because
Characters. Oh my. Oh me, oh my.
let me tell you, Family Guy 16,
That's a new name.
yeah, like, just like the way the show is set up, like, narrative wise and like joke wise. I don't mean like Family Guy in a completely bad, like in a bad way. That sounds insulting.
Maybe you're right,
But
though.
there's more cutaway gags within Stoked. There's more like surrealism
In
within it
in
too.
Stoked?
Yeah, like with some of the like brosive, there's a running joke where his hair just carries
Oh,
everything.
true, yeah.
Yeah, and like
This man put a whole sandwich in
it's
his hair. Sorry.
yeah, no, like that whole thing. It's like I think that Stoked. It's very more like we're playing up like we're gonna play up more of the jokes in like a more like fantastical way versus 16 where even though like some of the stuff was out there in 16, it still was like very grounded
hmm
versus Stoke where you're like, what? You're like, there isn't like any like there it's not that there's no like groundedness to the show, there is some. Um But like, there's more like outlandish stuff because they do like cutaway gags and stuff like that. Also, there's like a running joke where like the shark and the fish are talking to each other,
Yeah.
in the tank.
Oh, yeah. It was,
Yeah,
it's cute. It's a cute little gag.
yeah, it reminds me of how fish hooks,
Oh my god.
like at the
I
end.
didn't really think of that. Yeah, for sure. Like when like the with the snake and the mouse. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. But the thing with Stokes is that like the shark and the fish thing, you never know when it's gonna happen. That's the thing.
Yeah, like it just happens like in the middle of the episode or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, another thing about Stokes is that every episode they have a montage sequence with some cool song playing in the
Oh
background.
yeah. Oh my god, I was really surprised in the beginning of the first episode when Dear Maria Count Me In from By All Time Low started playing and I'm just like, "Wait a minute. They
Okay,
got
so it is
rights?"
licensed music.
Yeah. I was really surprised.
Okay, because all the episodes I watched, I mainly watched stuff from the second season actually. Um, I don't know why. And I was like, I bet this is licensed music, and I didn't look it up.
Yeah.
So, if Dear Maria Count Me In is in there,
Mhm.
no wonder I like the show. No wonder I like that song.
Right,
That was my middle.
exactly.
That was my song in middle school.
And there was this other montage with like this song that was playing and I was like, "Huh, I bet this is licensed music." So I shazammed it. I can't even pronounce words. I basically asked Siri what song it is and it was like this song from like this punk band and I'm just like, "Wow, the rights."
I'm so sorry for the volume because my dad's talking in the background.
It's okay, don't worry.
Um, but oh wait, back to characters because I just went on a whole
It's
tangent.
okay. Character time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through each character because I have thoughts on all of them, and also like a lot of these characters wrap into like the certain dramas.
Yes.
Oh my
Go
god.
off.
Um, So the first character I'm gonna talk about is Emma. She's she's best girl,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm like, you deserve better. She's like the Jen of the group,
Oh,
basically.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, like no, she is the Jen
She
of the
is
group.
the Jen.
She's like the most responsible. She's like the most like basic one
Yeah.
out of them. She can't surf. That's her big thing. She
She
can't
doesn't
surf and she
know.
wants to know how to surf.
Yeah.
And she also has a crush on Lo's brother Ty.
Uh-oh, scandalous.
Yeah. Um
Yeah. I also find it very ironic that her voice actor it was also the voice of Bridget from Total Drama who
that's why I like Emma.
yeah, cuz
That makes so much sense.
exactly. It all adds up. And her character Bridget is a surfer, and I find it pretty funny
Hmm.
that like this character Emma doesn't know how to surf. So, good
But she
observation.
wants to.
Yeah. She becomes
Um
a surfer.
yeah. Next character is Lo or Lauren because I hate saying Lo.
Halo. Why is it like a bad name or do you,
No, it's not a bad name. I'm just like, what? Who?
or it just doesn't fit
Like I
like for her? I don't know.
like I think with like a lot of the Stoked names, especially with the next two, especially I hate saying their names because I'm like these are dumb nicknames.
Yeah, I feel like they're I don't know. They're like I know that they're trying to do like the type of beach vibe and surfer vibe that they're trying to go with, but at the same time it makes me like they you could have done better.
Yeah. So the next character is Lo. She's the Caitlyn of the group, but except if Caitlyn was smarter, but not in the school ways. Real like I don't watch enough episodes to really like capture like Lo's like essence, but Lo is like she's like if she's like Caitlyn, but if Caitlyn was like a bit more aggressive.
Yeah. Like she's not like so naive as like Caitlyn, I guess.
Yeah, like because Caitlyn's like naive, but she's really nice. Versus Lo, who she can be naive at times, but Lo has more brain cells in a sense.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how to describe it. Like she's still like the stereotypical rich girl. She's more like the mean girl archetype though
Yeah.
than Caitlyn. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
definitely.
Um, so her dad owns like the resort, so she doesn't work. Yeah, she doesn't work, right? Um,
Like before or cuz she does work at the
okay.
resort.
I was like, I don't remember. Okay, I didn't
Oh,
remember if she
did you
did
see
or
the
not.
first episode or?
No, I saw like literally all the episodes from the second one,
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so
second season.
basically you it's kind of like 16 where you have to watch the first episode in order to get like the whole show, but basically what happened
Yeah.
was is that Lo through this big party like for like the end of the school year at her like condo slash mansion. It's really huge, and like she made this huge mess, which caused her dad to be really mad at her, um, and ordered her to like get a job, or else like she won't be able to go back to the mansion. Basically her
Okay, I
dad kicked her
remember
out.
this. I do remember this now.
Yeah.
I It's just been a while because all the episodes I saw, everyone else was working except for her. That was that was the thing. Like everyone else was at least like saying like stuff like, "Oh, I just got off duty," or like they're like, "I'm going to my job," or like you'll see them working.
Yeah.
Versus like her, where she's just chilling and she's like, "I have to sabotage my brother's relationship. Be right back."
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think she works at the resort, but like she doesn't like to work
yeah, no.
or something.
Um, but yeah, she's like more the mean rich girl archetype.
Yeah.
And she's dating Reef. Next character is Reef.
Reef.
Reef, he's the Jonesy of the group.
Yeah.
He's the Jonesy, but he's not.
He
There's something about Reef that doesn't make him as funny as Jonesy.
You're not wrong, actually.
Like, I don't know if it's because like the way they structure jokes and Stoked, or just like the overall way they write his character. I'm about to get into like why I keep saying like this is this character from 16 out of the Stoked group. But Reef, he knows how to surf. He's like your typical bro, but not like chill bro, like frat bro. He's
He's
literally like a
frat,
frat
bro.
bro, except he's poor
Yeah,
and like he he's like yeah, that's really it.
pretty
That's all I can
much.
think of off the top of my
I
head.
don't really have that many
Um
thoughts about Reef. Like, other than the fact that, like, he's basically the Jonesy of the group, like, I can't
yeah.
really say a lot. I mean, probably because of the fact that I haven't seen, like, a lot of episodes, and I don't remember. I can't really recall a lot of, like, things from Stoked compared to 16, but I feel like
Mhm.
Reef, like, I don't know. Just something about his character just doesn't really, like, stand out to me a lot.
Yeah, I think also the reason might be is because Summerberry's character is dependent on Finn, the next
Finn,
character I'm
great
gonna talk about.
transition.
Yeah, I'm just transitioning left and right.
Yes.
So Finn, she's the Nikki of the group. Um, she's like Nikki, but not as like. So Nikki was very like when you look at Nikki, or like when you think about her character, you're like she's like in all honesty, like she's even in like the reunion special 16, which was wild.
It was
I love
wild.
it.
It was so chaotic in like
Yeah,
10 minutes.
it was.
But go on.
Um, so basically, like you know how Nikki, when like she talks about things, you can tell that she's very passionate about what she's talking about, and also she has like you can tell like her political beliefs when she talks about things, like where she stands, but also like you know how like Nikki has like that weird like issue where she's like I hate girly girls, but then like after a while she becomes less like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a weird. Hello,
Yes. Hello?
hello,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay. Um. So yeah, Nikki, like you know how she had like that whole like I kind of hate like preppy girls thing, but then after a while she kind of died down on that.
Yeah.
Finn, like Finn isn't like I hate preppy girls, but like there was this was like, one episode that like I didn't really like because it was like Finn's like, oh, I don't like girl problems. I'm gonna hang out with the boys and do dude stuff. So like it's just like a bunch of burp and farting jokes, and
Bruh.
then like it's like she's kind of dissing like quote unquote girly stuff, which like isn't it's not a bad thing if like you don't like traditional like feminine stuff, of course. But it's more like the way that, like that whole plot line was handled was like really annoying
Right.
because she's like, oh, girls always talk about girl stuff and it's lame. I want to hang out with the dudes and like the dudes are like, oh yeah, like whatever, like she can hang out with us. And then like later in the episodes they're like, oh we have to get her away, let's do girly stuff. The whole it's like a mini it's like a side story and I hate it. I hated it so much
Yikes.
because I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I haven't seen the episode, so I can't really say much. But, like, dang. That kind of sounds kind of, like, off. And it doesn't really, like, help, like, the character at all. Or just, like, Finn at all.
Yeah, because also with Stoke, here's where some of the drama comes in.
Drama.
Um, so Reef and Finn, they eventually, I don't remember if they get together or like, but it's like very heavily teased that they get together or like there's like a big like ship tease. From what I
Yeah.
remember, they did get together. They did get together, but
Er,
it's been a while since I've seen that episode.
um,
But
I think there were just a lot of, like, interactions that they had together. And, like, I feel like people were, like, rooting for them. And It was heavily teased, but then I don't think they ended up together. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because the show only had 2 seasons.
Right.
So I think that third one, they would have done like the whole thing where it's like, they got together and he broke up with Lo. Like, basically it would have been like Discount Jonesy and Nikki from
Right. You're
16.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Stoked, but I don't think I like it as much as 16 because of like the things that they sort of repeat but
Yeah.
at the same time. Like they bring something different to the table, but it's not really enjoyable or like clever as they did in 16. Um
Oh,
especially
he's just
moving on
Wyatt. That's
to
all he is.
this character named Johnny who works at the resort already.
Yeah,
Um
no. There's like two love triangles going on in this show,
basically,
and I think that's the other
and
reason why I
just
was
a
like
simp for
checked out of
Emma.
those episodes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, and then Brosive. Brosive.
Yeah,
About Brosive?
it's
Um,
crazy. Yeah.
I have no thoughts on him. He's just like,
How do you
he's just
feel?
black juice.
Yeah.
Um, literally. Like, yeah. Yeah. Like, look, I know enough about 16 to form my opinions on characters in Stoked. I'm not
You're right.
joking.
You're actually right.
Um, like, I have nothing to say. Like, Brosive, he's mostly there for comic relief. Like, the most Brosive-centric things I saw in the show. So, like, he wanted to, like, drive, like, the bus thing that goes to resort
True.
because he wanted to, like, impress this girl. And then, like, there's another thing where, like, this, I watched the Storm episode, where, like, he, he's so focused on, like, the wave that, like, he doesn't really, like, listen to the manager's, like, thing to telling them to get out of, like, the area because there's gonna be a storm that might kill them. Um, yeah, no, he's like one of the higher. He's not a higher up, but like he's in a higher position than everyone else because he's been working there
Oh
longer along
wow.
with Johnny. Um, but I don't have any like big qualms with Broseph in all honesty. Like
Right.
I don't know, like
True. Yeah. Um I don't have a lot on Broseph either. Just the fact that he's there for comic relief. But like I don't think
yeah,
um his character is that
yeah.
useless.
Like I
I
think
mean, I enjoy
the
like
thing with
his
these shows, I would
character.
never say like a character's like
Um
useless.
but yeah, he's
But
fun.
I think with the way Stoked is set up, you're like, this doesn't make sense why this character's here sometimes. But even then, you're like, well, it does make sense. Yeah.
Right. I totally agree.
Hmm.
Like the thing is, I like Stoked, but I feel like it didn't have the charm that 16 had where they I don't know. Everybody like seemed to so in 16 you have these contrasting personalities and you see them collide because of this one place, this special place that, teens would usually go and hang out after school. But with Stoked, it's like you have just these surfers bunched into a resort and like sure they have their own
Yeah,
personalities and
I
stuff
think
like
the
that, but they
other thing
don't
too,
necessarily seem to
again, I didn't really
have
watch like
that
the first
like
few episodes of Stoked. I didn't
dimension,
rewatch
if that
them.
makes any
I've
sense.
watched all of Stoked before, but I haven't rewatched them. I think the other thing with 16 too is that 5 out of the 16s already knew each other and were already established as friends from the first
Right.
episode versus Stoked. Yeah, no, like, and then like with Stoked, it's like some
True.
of the
I keep forgetting
characters
that.
know each other, but like you don't really know if they're close friends or not. And then like there's like a lot of stuff going on in Stoked too. Like even though it's such a simple premise, you have so much going on at once. It's it's not quite sensory overload, but compared to 16, it feels like that because you're trying to focus on each character, and then also like every character has like a crush on someone, and that's like another part of it. And like versus 16 where it's like, okay, really the only relationship you really focus on, like in depth, is between Nikki and Jonesy because everyone else in the show, like whenever they have like a romantic like relationship, it doesn't like last super long or it's not like focused
Right.
as much because that character is a side character. Um,
Exactly. And um I feel like with Stoked,
from
since
what I
they only
remember,
had
I
two
think that is the
seasons,
case.
and like I think
Um, but
Stoked
even
had less
then, like
episodes than
with the amount
16
of episodes they had, I still
or
wouldn't know
something.
where they were gonna go with. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
so I don't remember a lot of, so like with the relationship, I know who was in which triangle, but I don't
True.
remember
Yeah.
like exactly if people ended up together or not. That's the thing, or if people broke up exactly. But I'm like, look, in the show, like Johnny has a crush on Emma and Emma has a crush on Ty,
Yeah.
right?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
I'm like, so you're setting, so it's like we always go through the motions with those characters too, because I'm like, with love triangles,
Mhm.
you always know who's gonna end up together. That's the problem with love triangles sometimes. Um, there's only one show, or one piece of media that I've consumed where I think it worked the
Right.
best, which is Fruits Basket. What Fruits Basket is a real, like, out of all the love triangle stuff I've seen, Fruits Basket's my favorite. Maybe
I
it's
knew
because
you
the
would
person
say
I
that.
wanted to get with Toru did. I think also just the way like the show is handled, it works out a lot more, like works out better. Um, versus
Mhm.
Stoked,
Right.
where it's like, so you're still in like that will they won't they stage, like by the time it ends, and
Yeah.
then also like you know who's gonna get together probably. Like I'm like, look, it's either gonna be Emma gets with Ty or Emma stays single and Johnny's upset in the end either way. Unless if they really do a loop and Emma and Johnny get together, right? Then like with Reef, Finn, and Lo, it's always Reef and Finn are gonna end up together because Lo's fed up with
Ooh.
Reef. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Versus like Nikki and Jonesy, where I feel
Obviously.
like I wouldn't say it was super
Right.
unexpected, but
Like it's
it was still
obvious.
like it's like, oh, I didn't think about this
Yeah.
before, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like they
Smoothed.
they what's the word I'm trying to they
Yeah.
just smoothed it. I don't know if that's the right term. Wait. They're very they they paced it well. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And it was very subtle between Nikki and
Yeah.
Jonesy,
Like with
and their
I'm gonna start
dynamic is
comparing
just
stuff
like
for a
really
bit. So
interesting and
Finn and
fun
Reef, it's
compared
really
to
like for me,
Finn
it
and
felt too
Reef.
forced. And even I have my problems with like Nikki and Jonesy sometimes too. Like just like early Nikki and Jonesy because they broke up for a
Right.
while and got back together. Like in the last episode, I think, right? Yeah, like early Nikki and Jonesy, don't talk to me about it. A mess.
Right.
Later
Yeah.
Nikki and Jonesy, that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Communication. Versus like Reef and Finn, it's always like, oh, we're alone. And then Reef's like, always thought you were
That's what
pretty.
we're looking for.
Haha. And Finn's like, yeah, I always thought you were cute. Don't you have a girlfriend or something? And then like, whatever.
Ew.
Yeah, and they're both like, you're stupid. And then, oh, and then Reef would be like, you're stupid. Like, I mean, he gets like the same
We're
comeuppance.
just gonna let it happen.
Yeah, like he gets the
With
same comeuppance as like Jonesy would if Jonesy says something sexist, right? But like with
then the
Reese, I
kiss.
feel like sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this man. There's something off about the way Stoked handles it too, because I don't know, there's something off about it.
Really said. Right.
If we ever watch the whole
I
show,
don't
we'll
know.
update
It's
you
just
guys
something
what
off
we
about
think
that
is
show.
wrong,
But I can't really put my
why it
finger.
feels weird. Yeah. Like after a podcast, I just like, yeah, after the podcast, I start
Yeah.
yelling.
We'll figure it out. We'll
I
connect all
think
the
this is
puzzle
why this
pieces.
is messed up. Oh, we didn't talk about Kahuna,
So this is what happened.
the older guy.
Right.
He's
Exactly.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Who?
He's like a Jude. He's like a Jude
Oh,
became older,
him. I always
literally.
forget his name.
Yeah, we have the
He's
different
vibing.
types of Judes. We got Black Jude, we got Old Jude. What's next?
So many
Yeah, we got
Judes.
Jude. We got Chris McClay.
And then we have
Yeah.
Jude. The Jude. Chris
Um,
McClay! That's for
I
another
wouldn't say it's a
episode.
bad show,
But, anyways,
but
any
there's
final thoughts
something
about
up with
Stoked?
it. Um,
Or 16? Yeah.
50. Jinx.
Would you say
Yeah, I'm
there's
at my desk.
something fishy about it?
You owe me
Did
two,
you knock on wood?
technically.
Damn it. Okay. I'll send you a soda. Maybe. Okay.
Thank you.
Once I hit
You should
12
just send me
cans
a
of
soda
sodas,
machine
I
in
will
Animal
send
Crossing.
a whole thing to you.
Yeah.
Like a package. You're
I'll count
welcome.
that.
Oh,
But yeah,
true.
so
If you count that, then
something
yes, I got you.
weird is
Okay, bet.
up with
Big bet.
Stoked. I don't want to claim anything. I haven't seen a lot of it, but the out of episodes I watched, there's like the way they just write certain things. I just don't think is as good as 16 because I think 16 is more self-aware with what characters they are. It's like, I know, 16 knows that their characters are awful people sometimes, while Stoked doesn't.
Yeah. That definitely like sums it up, really. Yeah. I guess final thoughts for me
That's a different
is that
episode.
16 is the superior show other than Total Drama. Yeah, that's a different episode to come by if you didn't notice. But
We have to watch.
yeah.
We should watch Stoked
Stoked.
beginning to end
See you
one day.
later.
And
I'm
just
not stoked
like,
about you.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
We have a lot of like comeback episodes that we already planned.
Yeah.
Just because we know
Make
ourselves.
a comeback episode.
And
Stoked Part 2.
just like how we talk about things. Like we're not gonna get to everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe I'll start really yelling.
Maybe
I mean, I
our
already
minds
lost
might
my mind in this
change.
episode, so
Or
it doesn't
our
hurt to
thoughts
lose it a
may
bit
become
more,
stronger than before. Right, exactly.
And I'm
But
Shay.
yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching the 1224 podcast. My name's Kate. And let us know about your thoughts about 16
And what are your
Stoked
thoughts on the Bubble Guppy
and or
effect?
any other
How
Canadian
iconic
shows
is
you want
Bubble
us
Guppies?
to review
If
next,
you
or
don't
any
think it's
type of show in
iconic,
general.
why so? And please tell me why you're wrong. I expect the essay by Monday on my desk at 8 a.m. Thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Shay. Thank you for that assignment. Do your homework. All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Bye!
Bye. Eat your veggies.